And finally, we have on the couch for an interesting conversation, the amazing Tosin Ajibade. Now, she's the founder of leading lifestyle and entertainment website, OloriSuperGirl.com.
Yes, indeed, people. Now, she's popularly known as OloriSuperGirl or OSG. And, hey, you're here with us. Finally got you here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Good to have you
so
here.
much.
I know the first time I'm meeting you, but then we were talking about wealth. Now we want to talk about OSG herself.
then.
You're welcome. So which is it, OSG today or Tosin?
Both.
It's very interesting how you came up. I mean, you are contemporary. You are actually competition for many of these big blogs. I call them blogs. And you also have your own website and everything. But something very, very interesting that I've always wanted to ask you people is on the aspect or issue of controversies. I'm going to go right into it because we don't have too much time.
Okay, then.
Now, blogs such as yours are known to help these controversies actually trend. It's a good thing for some people, maybe sometimes it's not. But what is the formula that makes them, and what exactly are they used for? What kind of a tool are they? And do you encourage them?
It's okay.
I want to get in there.
All right, so for some of the controversies, of course, some are premeditated.
Okay.
Some are planned, and some just happen.
Okay.
So, you know, I would say 5-6 years ago, you would see, blogs, you know, publish exclusives.
Yeah.
But now, this celebrity are the ones putting out their stories out there.
Okay.
You know, so then you get it from their Snapchats or you get it from their Insta stories. But some of them, like I said, are premeditated, while some just happen. And while they happen, what you need is follow-up. Okay, what's happening? What's this person's response? What did this person say? How did it happen? And all of that. So, and until it lasts and then it dies and everybody moves on, you know, the way it is. So, like the question asked about controversy, it's either planned or as a goal.
Do you see it as a good tool? Do you see it as a tool?
It's actually a good tool because, for instance, now we all know Bobrisky is trending. That's his own beat.
Yeah.
You know, controversy. That's his beat. Dr. DK. Controversy.
Yeah.
You see,
they have their strategies.
Exactly. So they know what works for them. And they're not even shy about it. They are not running away from it like, oh, I don't want to be attached to. They know this works for them. This brings them money. This brings them fame.
And they're not ashamed of it.
This brings them everything they need to stay relevant. Remember, top of mind. Remember, you need to also stay relevant. Remember, you also need to trend. Even when you don't like it, and even when you like it, you still need your name to be talked about. So
where does the balance of actual journalism come in? And where is the fine line between blogging and being a journalist come in?
Okay, so for blogging and journalism, I would say blogging is just speaking it.
Okay. Yeah.
Journalism is like, okay, can I speak to this person? Oh, at the time of our reports, we didn't get a response from XYZ.
Yes.
So there's actually a fine line between both.
But you do both.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, for the blogging bit, you get pieces from either from friends or family. Like if you want to get a story, for instance, look at the closest person to the person you're trying to reach out to, or even just in case the person's social media page is private, you always also have to think of, okay, who's closest to this person? The family, the mom or the dad or the sister or the cousin. You know, like weeks ago, something happened, nobody asked questions, and the next day we just woke up and we saw stories. This is what happened, this is what happened, and the next thing, family in-laws were the ones, you know, fueling the story. Then social media in-laws entered the story.
Wow.
Nobody talked about the other party didn't talk about it until he released the song. And then he later now talked about that people should just stay away from the case between him and his family. So now looking at it now, nobody asked the other party questions. They only came on social media to give us the gist. And while we have the gist, your in-laws
fueling the gist.
Fueling the gist. Even creating videos. So, you know, so all of these things, you know, happen.
How many times have you gotten into trouble? How many times has anybody threatened you?
Oh my God.
How many times has somebody walked up to you and like you?
No way.
Has it ever happened?
I don't think so.
It hasn't?
And so it's not like I try to play safe or I don't like to be, you know, there. But it's just that, you know, there are times, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I've never had issues like that.
Okay.
I think the list that I've had is maybe a mail sent to me for maybe either a picture not going well with the story, and these mistakes usually happen, you know, from my team when they don't do their own proper investigation. So when we go back internally, we then have to
I just wanted to say something about OSG, or OloriSuperGirl. It's a very safe blog.
Yes.
It's not as, while it's very authentic and everything, it's not as, what's the word I'm looking for now that's going to be toxic?
No, it's not.
It's not toxic in any way, and I
This
really
is
appreciate
deliberate,
that. Yeah,
Yes, it is
deliberate?
because honestly, the social media space, it's okay. So like it's garbage in, garbage out. What you see is what you get. So already you have different people, you know, coming online doing all sorts of things. You only control what you put out there. You can't control what you see. And a lot of people who are out there would want their stories to tell. Let's start with that. There are a lot of stories to tell. Or who made this plant, or who wrote this book. You know, there are a lot of stories to tell. So why don't we focus on that rather than, because the thing is that controversy stories, you have to wait.
Yeah.
Like I said, these days, we don't get exclusive anymore. Celebrities that are now posting their stuff. Like, nobody is waiting for anybody to, you know, get an exclusive and all. So it's not like what it was before. Years ago, you always definitely get documents, you get everything. Facts. But now you're waiting for someone's story or someone's Snapchat or something like that. So I would rather focus on positivity, infotainment, entertainment, you know, entertainment, inclusive, you know, things that people can get and, you know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lifespan of a story.
Okay.
So let's talk about controversial stories now. Sometimes people feel like the whole world is coming to an end because a particular story has dropped. But from your experience, what is the average lifetime of a controversial story, whether it was instigated or it actually happened?
Give or take max 72 hours.
Family 2 hours.
2
hours. 3 days.
Depending on the feedback. Like I said, if the other party responds, then there's something to, like I said, it's follow up. You can't just sit down now and create a story or you want to be popular and all, and then nobody's giving it to you back. It has to be back to back, like, you know. So it depends on how long it stretches. You know, if one party decides to stop, then it stops. But if they decide to continue, then so the longer it gets longer. So I would say max 48 hours, 72 hours. Max.
So you're in that business of helping stories either to trend or actually to keep them alive for those 72 hours.
Yeah.
Now, to be very, very specific now, and I'm going to be really deliberate about this, what role would you say that you play in certain issues where people's well-being are concerned? And let me use one instance, 2Face and his wife, for instance. How do you, what are the emotional boundaries for you when you see that a story is going like, maybe I should step back or maybe I should press on?
Thank you very much for that question. That's a very, very good question.
I know, thank you.
Yes. You know, when that story broke up, that was the instance I was giving. I didn't want to mention it. But now that you mentioned it, it's fine. That was the instance I was giving. Now look at it. There are 2 kids. That's Annie's children are on social media. They are still minors. Kids. Not even teenagers. They are under 18. Will I say still like under 18? Yeah. One is on TikTok, the others, I mean, both of them are on Instagram, you know. And that same period when this story was out, the first daughter was on TikTok, you know, telling someone, you know, abusing someone who doesn't know how to speak good English. It was happening at the same time both parents were having issues on social media. Their in-laws were coming online saying all sorts of things. Social media in-laws were also adding fuel to the fire. Now, in that case, it is not even good for their children because they are also on social media. Now, they say the internet never forgets, remember? But now they are already on social media. So imagine all of that happening. I told my team, whatever it is that is happening between Annie and 2Face, please do not involve the children. Do not write any story about Isabella talking about someone who doesn't know how to speak good English. I told my team to stay off it because it doesn't make any sense. They are kids. Let us see them as kids. Let them be kids. Let them do whatever they want to do on their social media. Don't go on their page on TikTok or IG to take stories or reactions or anything to add to your story. It doesn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, right now, it seems like it's good, but in the next 2-3 years, it's very, very bad.
A sense of moral obligation is
so
very,
that moral
very
obligation, though, for people's personal relationships,
there still has to be a fine line. So, for instance, the information that was put out there, I'm feeling your captioning
has a lot to do with
how long or how far a story goes.
Yes.
So how do you make sure your
like I said, it depends on how the story is. It's not something like because it's
also
cooler.
business for you, so you really need that caption
because the thing is that so in this business they call it clickbait. Yes. You know, on website they will tell you something else. You see one headline, you click on the story, it's nothing. You know, and on social media it's the captioning that attracts people. But at the end of the day, because your previous question actually still sums it up with this one, because of the children involved, the other children involved, the other children involved. So it's not just the 2 of them; it's actually the 7 of them in total.
There's a lot of next generation.
Exactly, and in the next 10 years, there'll be the next generation, and all of that. So it will affect them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, honestly. So at that point, we just stayed off of it. The children, we didn't even mention it. But I told my team members not to even write any story about them.
You have a very arduous task because you're navigating so many things. You're navigating the kids, you're navigating your moral obligation, you're navigating people's mental state. Which brings me to ask what your opinion is or thought is on what's his name, Saga versus Nini.
Oh my God!
And his mental state currently, because people are beginning to question the methods of Big Brother. At this point,
but she's back in the house, and
she's back in the house.
It seemed like it was
in the house. It seemed like his mental state was exploited at the time. What do you think?
I'm Perez, the FBI.
I'm actually exhausted because I was up all night waiting to see Nini back into the house.
Wow, what you have to do.
So when Nini left the house, we captured that. That's it. The story is about follow-up, honestly. So we have to follow up because, of course, it's the stories, the trending news and all. But looking at the fact that it's clearly a prank, and Nini actually followed the information, the instructions, Biggie laid, but the reaction Saga actually gave it's just from him because he's actually not in love but obsessed with Nini. Because the thing is now is Oxygen Nini. That's what they are like. The oxygen is not here, so Oxygen Nini. And he has been called all sorts of names. Create memes, different memes created
I got a couple for
all around
too,
it. Then he cried yesterday in the garden. It was raining and then he was crying. And I was wondering, is it just because of one person? At least wait. He even had to sleep in front of the diary room. Angel and Perez were with him. And I like the fact that I like the relationship between Perez and Saga. Perez stood by him all day. But I like something about Perez. Perez is a smart guy. He knew someone was upstairs, but he didn't know where exactly. And you remember, it's just Cross and Liquorose that are that have access to the head of house room. So they can't go upstairs, and all of that. But he knew, he could smell that there was someone upstairs. So when...
real quick.
So because when she came back, when she snuck in and then she was denying the fact that she has been on the bed all day, he said, no, I saw her with my eyes when she walked into the house.
Wow.
You know what I'm thinking, While we walk into the kitchen, this is what I'm going to propose to you and the rest of our staff here. We have something called... reality check.
Okay.
And we're going to have you on reality check. We are going to love you because your take is just amazing. I mean,
all right.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you so
OloriSuperGirl.
Yes.
So good to have you. Please talk about our food on your blog.
Nice one.
This is Chef Ken, and then this morning she's made for you rice and garden egg sauce.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
So please quickly have a taste. Let us know what you think. Please rate it well.
Awesome. I will. The way she said rate it well. It's not that bad.
No, it's not. But please enjoy.
Okay, so this is hot.
Yeah.
Really
you don't like hot food?
Exactly.
Oh, well.
Okay, so and this is TV. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Lord.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
All right.
Is that okay? What do you think? Is it nice? Good? Love it?
I like the sauce.
Okay.
The pepper inside. The leaves. What type of leaves?
Scent leaf.
Exactly.
You love it?
This is good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I love pepper though. So
Grand.
It's so good to have you here in our kitchen trying out our food.
Thank you.
So guys, look out for OloriSuperGirl's
find her on Instagram, find
or
her
review
on
our food today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. I already have my fork out, so I can't wait. But let's take Titi's goodbyes real quick.
On the
then
couch
we can dig into this.
So tomorrow is Friday, meaning it's game day, but it's also our cultural day.
Yes, please go ahead.
Cultural Diversity Day at TVC, so that's going to be fun.
Oh, yes, it is going to be fun. Please come and watch us make of ourselves in our cultural outfits.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait for it because I'm gonna be looking good tomorrow.
Thank you, OloriSuperGirl. Thank you, Chef Ken, and thank you to all our guests. You all have been amazing today. Mazino?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.